Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Canal Algérie's Midnight 30 Bulletin. To the headlines. The President of the Republic congratulates the President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, on the occasion of his re-election as President of China. Emphasis on giving priority to the new provinces and development projects and completing administrative facilities are the main topics of the meeting of the Minister of Interior with civil society representatives of the province, Boulad Jalal. The kickoff of the first symposium of startups in the field of space in Iran with the participation of 45 innovative startups in the domain. Many American political parties and human rights associations warn of the continued deterioration of the social and political situation. On the other hand, Al-Makhzen continues its human rights violations, beating up sub-Saharan migrants, as shown in images surfacing on the internet. And we end with a session of yoga in Al-Hamma's garden that gathered 600 women on the occasion of the International Women's Day. Good evening, those are tonight's headlines. First in our news, the President of the Republic congratulates the President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, on the occasion of his re-election as President of China. The President of the Constitutional Court, Omar Belhaj, took part in the Italian city of Venice in the proceedings of the 34th session of the Democratic Commission through Law. The President of the Constitutional Court also took part in the proceedings of the 20th meeting of the Bureau of the World Conference on Constitutional Justice to discuss many issues related to the conference, including the candidacy to host the 6th conference to be held in 2025. On the sidelines of his participation in the 41st edition of Sirawi Conference 2023, held from the 5th to the 10th of March in Houston, USA, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohammed Aqab, held bilateral discussions with the CEO of the Gas and Oil Corporation, Chevron, where both parties discussed investment and partnership opportunities between Sonatrach and Chevron in research and exploration for hydrocarbons and its exploitation to expand the base of the country's reserves of hydrocarbons. The Minister of Energy and Mines also met with the CEO of Occidental Petroleum Corporation, Vicky Holub, where discussions revolved around studying the status of cooperation between both enterprises. Aqab also met with the CEO of PPG Energy for services in the field of electricity and petroleum, where both parties discussed the exchange of expertise in modern technologies in the field of electricity supply. The Minister of Interior, Local Collectivities and Territory Planning, Brahim Marad, paid a working visit to Boulad Jalal province where he inspected several industrial units. At the end of his visit, the minister had the opportunity to meet the representatives of civil society in the region who expressed their concerns to him. More details with Anya Al-Bahri.
Freshly promoted to the rank of a province, Boulad Jalal is rich of natural, agricultural and industrial resources, in which it is involved in the economic development of the country. During his meeting with representatives of civil society of this province, the Interior Minister Brahim Rad highlighted the government's desire to work for the development of basic infrastructures and to support investment in these new provinces with a view to improving the living conditions of their inhabitants. In the field of education, we have a lack of infrastructure. We need a high school and a college. Water is a necessity, 25 liters per citizen. It's not enough. The inhabitants of Bisbas municipality are asking you to rehabilitate the dam of Al Khalwa region and to connect farms to electricity. We must ease the pressure on the hospitals of the province. Why not a 60-beds hospital at the level of Ras Al Mi'ad municipality and another 120 beds hospital at the level of Sidi Khalid municipality? We ask you to pay special attention to young innovators in our province. Brahim Rad also confirmed that the national plan for land use planning will soon be finalized. He also recalled that the shortcomings at the level of the new provinces become a priority for the state.
السيد رئيس الجمهورية أعطى تعليمات باش كل
The President of the Republic gave instructions to deliver all the health infrastructures in progress before the end of 2023. The problem which rises today at the level of your province is the supply of drinking water, which is still insufficient. We will also mobilize all the material and means to ensure drinking water in adequate quantity. About the roads of the province, we are going to promote certain roads to national road status. Other roads will also be split. This concerns the economic aspect. We are going to work more to improve the living environment for citizens. You should know that this is part of the commitments of the President of the Republic. The Minister of Interior, Local Authorities and Regional Planning insisted on the need to combine the efforts of government and civil society in order to guarantee a decent life for the citizens, thus strengthening the country in order to establish a solid base for the new Algeria.
The proceedings of the first symposium of startups in the field of space kicked off in Iran Satellite Development Center with the presence of the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Post and Telecommunications, and of Knowledge, Economy, Startups and Microenterprises. Yassine Hamia, Rania Al-Bahri.
The development of the spatial domain was at the core of the national program of 45 startup activators and different specialities. Taking part notably in the domain of mechanical structures, energy storage, image satellites, and artificial intelligence, in order to open up new horizons for skills. It is the first North African team to be selected at the SpaceGate America Cup to launch the Atako rifle. We are also specialized in edge computing and edge IE. We publish artificial intelligence algorithms. We have an artificial intelligence model for companies to solve their problems at the technical level. Accompanied by the Minister of Knowledge, Economy, Startups and Microenterprises and the Minister of Post and Telecommunications, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research declared during an exhibition of startup project models from the universities of Iran and higher national schools that these projects will be equipped with all the means to transfer ideas to a marketable product, create momentum and boost the national economy. Our objective is to mobilize startups around the National Space Program 2040. Our objective is to put an end to technological dependence and achieve national sovereignty in order to develop the country's economy. Around 560 university student projects are qualified to become startups. Our visit allowed us to closely observe the products created and the solutions provided, which will allow us to reduce the import bill. A memorandum of understanding was signed between the Ministry of Economy, Knowledge, Startups and Microenterprises and the Algerian Spatial Agency in order to strengthen cooperation in the field of space and to support startups' innovations in the design, development and qualification of their projects.
A robotic mechanical system platform which lists the needs of companies was created by young Algerian engineers in order to integrate startups even more in our economic model. Report by Salim Hawari, commentary by Min Al-Ammali.
Equipped with a robotic mechanical intervention and service system, this technological platform is destined for the development and transfer of new technologies towards industrial enterprises and startups. It is a space dedicated to supporting research and innovation. We have a full process for manufacturing machineries. As you can see, the machining process is operated digitally, which is very conventional. We have a sheet metal workshop in which we work on sheet metal in all forms. We also have a third essential workshop, which is the welding workshop. The development of this technological platform depends on Algerian competences and expertise. Here we work on designing parts and their modeling. Then we move to manufacturing methods. We are responsible on manufacturing the pieces of all these industrial machines.
I contributed to the project of robotic mechanical intervention and service system, and I hope that it will be a successful experience that will benefit economy, higher education and scientific research.
At a time when Algeria is focusing on the knowledge economy and scientific research, the development of these technological platforms is necessary more than ever before, since they are accelerators of innovation, particularly in the industrial sector.
During the second day of his visit to the province of Tlemcen, the Minister of Communication, Mohamed Bouslimani, affirmed that the organic information law will be discussed in the parliament before the end of the current month, adding that the main aspects of this law were already discussed in the Committee on Culture, Information and Tourism during open days that the journalists, academics and publishers took part in. The Sahrawi file, the Parliament of Catalonia approved the text of a resolution calling on the Spanish government to assume its historical responsibilities toward the Sahrawi people. The text of the resolution, which was approved by all the political parties forming the parliament, affirmed that the position of the Catalan legislature in support of a fair and lasting solution to the Sahrawi issue on the basis of the requirements of international law and legitimacy and the United Nations resolutions to respect the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination. In Morocco, many political parties and Moroccan human rights associations warn of the continued deterioration of social and political situation in the country, especially with the decline in purchasing power and the many forms of restrictions on freedoms and imprisonment of human rights defenders on trumped-up charges. Images circulating the internet from Morocco showing the police beating up sub-Saharan migrants were condemned by Moroccan human rights defense associations. In a similar context, other images show the unfortunate experience of a French tourist couple who denounced the lack of security in remote areas in Morocco. Manal Amario tells more.
These images of a violent conflict which occurred between sub-Saharan migrants and the forces of the Makhzen widely circulated on social networks because they were beaten up and abused, and on that day Casablanca turned into a real battlefield. The Makhzen regime continues to pursue its policy of repression and violating human rights as well as fundamental freedoms, namely towards sub-Saharan migrants, who remain victims of human rights violations, while Morocco still practices deportation of migrants, either from one side to another within the country or sending them back to their country of origin, prosecuting them, subjecting them to arbitrary arrests, and depriving them from their basic rights. Everything is going wrong in Morocco. French tourists also denounced repeated assaults. This video was filmed by two cyclists who were subjected to aggressions by a group of children in the middle of the desert. According to these cyclists, it is the third aggression of this kind they experienced within a few days.
They're not even trying to take anything from us because they need it. They took the water bottle and threw it on the top of the cliff. They did not even keep it for themselves.
Et on s'est jamais senti autant en danger. Jamais, jamais, jamais.
We never felt this much danger before. We want to be nice and say that they're just kids and they should be excused. But this is the third assault and we cannot cover up everything that's happening. Seeing Justine in this state makes me truly want to leave this country. We are not generalizing since not everyone is the same. However, many children are this way here and that's too much.
Mais beaucoup d'enfants sont comme ça ici. Et ça, franchement, c'est trop.
This video was shared thousands of times online, a video which shows that Morocco is becoming a risky country for tourists who venture there, and assaults of this kind are happening repeatedly.
600 women participated in the White Yoga Day in El Hamma. It was the occasion for some to discover and practice this relaxing outdoors activity. Majda Dahmoun, Sabr Intafirginet.
What's better than a yoga day in this sunny, beautiful weather? Whether you're a newbie or a long-time pro, this session of White Yoga Day in El Hamma's garden was the perfect event to gather women of all ages to practice some yoga styles surrounded with the beautiful greenery and fresh air. It is held on Friday as a way to have a significant number of participants who join in us with the goal to celebrate the day and allow women to express themselves through this discipline. A sport that requires little to no equipment at all. This low-cost physical activity can magically untether its practitioners from all the heavy weight on their shoulders.
C'est juste magique parce qu'on se sent en lévitation.
We feel like all our body muscles were included in this activity and our spirits are levitated. I can't fully describe this amazing sensation. I've been practicing yoga for 5 years now and it's exceptional.
Ça fait 5 ans que j'en fais, c'est exceptionnel.
These enthusiastic participants had the leverage of keeping their kids well entertained amid their much-needed session.
That nice bulletin comes to a close. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.